Very warm welcome to Philosophy Live. My name is Christine Lambie. I am a student and a tutor in the School of Philosophy and Economic Science. And we're here today on World Philosophy Day. So let's start with a really obvious question. Why study philosophy? This is World Philosophy Day. What are all these philosophers going on about? Well, let's start first with a true story. On September 9th, 1965, a pilot is flying over enemy territory in a war situation. He flies at treetop level into a flak trap, and the control system of his small A4 plane is shot out. He ejects and parachutes to the ground. As he falls to the ground, pistol shots and bullets are ripping his parachute canopy, and he sees fists waving in the street below. He releases himself from the parachute and is immediately gang tackled by 10 or 15 people who have pounded up the road to get him. They tackle and pummel him until a police officer comes blowing his whistle. By this time, he has a badly broken leg, which turns out to be an injury for life. He is arrested and put in an infamous jail where he remains as a prisoner of war for the next 8 years, some 4 years of that in solitary confinement. So you might wonder, what is he thinking or feeling as all this extreme situation unfolds? And how will he manage during the long years to follow? And by this time, you might also be wondering, what does this have to do with philosophy? I sometimes wonder how I would behave in this situation. How would I manage in that extended confinement? Well, this is the story of James Stockdale. He relates that he first came across Stoic philosophy in graduate school at Stanford University. And his particular favorite was Epictetus. Sometimes people call him Epictetus, who I feel is the greatest of the Stoics. Stoic philosophy has obvious resonances with people serving in the military. So this opened up for him the whole field of Stoic philosophy, to the point that wherever he was on duty, he had Epictetus' works at his bedside, not perhaps his exact book, but certainly the exact content. Now, Stockdale relates that as he is ejecting from the plane, he whispers to himself, 5 years down there at least, I'm leaving the world of technology and entering the world of Epictetus. He goes on to say that immediately in his mind is the Stoic distinction of what he can control and what he can't control. These are in separate files in his mind. It's remarkable to hear that he's thinking of this as he lands in this rapidly moving crisis situation. Stockdale goes on to relate his time in prison, but most interestingly for us today, how philosophy helps him to manage his mental state and ultimately survive the ordeal. You can read his full account. It's called Courage Under Fire, Testing Epictetus' Doctrines in a Laboratory of Human Behavior. It's a gripping account. So back to our question, why study philosophy? You might reckon that philosophy is a study of existence, knowledge, values, reason, mind, and language. So it's the exploration of life's big questions. Philosophy could give you a sense of social responsibility or strong intellectual and analytical skills. It might help you with problem solving or the ability to apply knowledge and skills to real-world settings. So it might be a lot more than the analytical discussion people might assume it is. It might actually have some helpful advice for us for navigating the trials that life presents and also speculating on those big questions. Who hasn't wondered why we are here, how this universe came about, what is this all for? In its earliest forms in ancient Greece and India, philosophy was a broad subject which also included elements of natural science and psychology. And philosophy was more than a discursive activity, it was a way of life. For the Epicureans and Stoics, particularly Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, philosophy was a moment-by-moment practice and quest for wisdom. In ancient Indian philosophy, for Patanjali and his Yoga Sutras, Shankara in Advaita philosophy, and also the Sankhya school, the aim is moksha, or liberation. We might all appreciate some liberation from life's trials. So you might not be shot out of a plane like James Stockdale, but no doubt we all have our challenges to meet. Philosophy has lots of advice for us, which we inherit from our culture. So let's cherish and use this invaluable asset. Read some philosophy today. If you've enjoyed this video, please like it and share it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great World Philosophy Day.